Hi everyone, my name is Daisy and I'm a knitwear designer. I'm recording this episode primarily for my Patreon and YouTube channel members, so if you'd like to stay up to date, please consider joining me on Patreon or as a member of my YouTube channel. If you're watching this at a later date, please subscribe and enjoy the episode. Hi everyone, it's been a while. I am again in France, but instead of August, it's now December. You might hear the fan on the log burner, but I can't do anything with that. So excuse me if there is an extra noise. It's morning, so there might be sun coming out and the light might be changing. I'm trying a different setup, but there might be things that will affect the quality after all, so please bear with me. It's been a while. It feels like it's been a while. I forgot how to do this. But I hope by the end of the episode I get the hang of it again. How are you? I've been busy, both working and traveling. I've been to Ukraine in September. I mentioned that in the previous episode. I've been to Greece, to Crete recently in November for my birthday. So yeah, and apart of that, there was lots of things happening on my needles, off my needles. Yeah, I'm sure if you follow me on Patreon, you know all the things. So today I'm going to show you my hortik pullover, the one I'm wearing right now. It's coming tomorrow. I delayed this recording and doing this for as long as I could, but I felt like yes, I have to do it before the release. So when you purchase the pattern, you can have the episode. That's only fair. What else I have? I can show you some of the pullovers that I've been working on in the last week or so. I've been adding some bits to the older designs. I also have a new travel companion, it's on here, that I'm also looking forward to show you. And the most important thing, yesterday we soft launched the new website. So that's also something that I have to tell you. Let's start. So let's start with hortik. Hortik means garden. It comes from Latin hortus with H, a silent H in front, or maybe they read it actually hortus, could be. So I call it hortik with H in the beginning, and it is a very botanical design. It's a round yoke pullover, knit top down in round with stranded color work on the yoke, on the sleeves, and on all the way down on the body. And how it came to be, I think our life is full of coincidences that are not really coincidences. I purchased myself this it's a merino sort of underlayer, and I have the same kind of leggings, and it was waiting for winter. And then ladies at Oner or Air, that's another silent H, but the ladies who are making, and gentlemen, I believe so, who are making Newton yarn, in one of their collections, I don't remember which one was it, they had this beautiful color that they called pudrat. And I didn't know at the time because it's very difficult to tell the colors from the screen. So every time a new yarn, no matter if it is Nutiden, but especially with Nutiden, when the yarn arrives, it surprises me. So when the color arrived, when the yarn arrived in my mail, I was very surprised to see that it matched my underwear, my underlayer, my it's a like a turtleneck, but not really turtleneck. So I had this yarn, the main color, and then I paired it with the yarn that I had from some previous collections that was also like this dusty purple. It's actually like powder color, pinkishly gray, a very light. And then I have this light purple. And I usually do start from an idea that needs some kind of yarn. When I have the right yarn, I feel like it all goes well from that point. I use Stitch Fiddle. It's a software that allows you to draw easily patterns on a computer or an iPad. It is nice for embroidery or if you're designing patterns to draw things there. It's easy to copy, reverse elements, and play a bit with the pattern without the need of using real paper and eraser and how I used to do it before. I had big sheets of graph paper, the A4 lists that I made for myself with little squares that I would print out and use them to draw and use try different versions, draft patterns and draft yolks and stuff like that. So it would take a lot of time to, for instance, change a little thing and then redraw the whole thing, and then see how that looks and then redraw again. Lots of work. But I also enjoyed it somehow. So at some point, maybe last year, I tried the Stitch Fiddle and I'm not paid for it. For the advertisement, I pay for the software, so it's not it's just an honest review. I'm using it, and it's proved to be very helpful just for sketching. I'm not using it for the final drawings, for the final schematics and stuff like that, but I'm using it to play with different patterns for the initial sketching. So I'm trying different patterns there, and I have some ideas that I think might be used in the future. So that's how it started. The pattern was somewhere in there, the yarn was here, and the initial inspiration for this kind of sort of chunky motif, meaning that there are two stitches that actually form a line sort of here. So you will have these big flowers and big leaves, and so you always work with twos. That actually comes from, so the initial inspiration actually comes from woven patterns that were used in traditional ritualized setting, but their patterns were really pronounced and they were using also very sort of thick lines in the patterns. I thought about using something similar in knitting for a while now, and I still haven't gotten close enough. So I'm still working on it to find a way to translate those kind of looks into knitting. But I'm starting here with these flowers and these sort of patterns that are thicker than just using like a one stitch line for for a branch or for a leaf, or it's more it's more dense. It feels like it has more meaning. I don't know why, but that's how it feels. So yeah, I cast on immediately. It's knitted. I didn't swatch. I knew more or less how it's going to behave. I also knew that my main color here is slightly lighter than the contrasting color. I was knitted, and that happens sometimes, especially if you take yarns that are from previous collections, like from some years ago, and the yarns that you have now, they might differ. So that explains why I have a strand of silk mohair with the main color and none of it with the contrasting color. If you are using yarn that is the same for the main and contrasting color, you can skip the silk mohair altogether. It's just there for me to have more stability because it was very yeah, fragile, was breaking easily, and it felt like it had less weight in it. So yes, I cast on the yoke, and I think the top part of the yoke, it came quite quickly to me, but then I think I was stuck a bit with the body. Not sure if I should continue the color work down the body. I even went that far that I did only one row of flowers here, and then I did like plain stockinette in main color. I didn't like it, I had to rip back, and if you've ever ripped back knitted, then you know how painful that is. But I did it, and then I reused the yarn. It was still salvageable, and I re-knitted with the pattern. And you know, by the time I was done with the body, I felt like I don't want to do the big sleeve. It also felt like very busy. Honestly, it felt busy. And I thought that if I do the sleeve in the same pattern, it's gonna be too much. Like I didn't want to have that kind of sweater. So I started with the first row of the flowers, and then I thought I'm gonna finish with like this line of dots, and when I tried it on, it felt like perfect length of the sleeve, because the yoke here is not sitting on your underarms directly. It's slightly lower, so you have the room to move, and also your sleeve starts a bit lower. And then if you add a bit of a sleeve, and you get this really nice half sleeve that goes to your elbow. And not realizing at that point that I had this matching pair of underlayer that I could wear with this sweater. It doesn't even matter, you could wear it with anything, like with any dress where you have, I'm a freak, I need the colors to match. So I would need my sleeves to match my skirt. You could wear it with a dress, so that's not a concern at all. Yeah, it felt like a perfect length. I have my chest warm. I don't need the length of the sleeve to be in my way, because I often feel like I'm rolling my sleeves quite often. I'm pulling my sleeves quite often up to not, especially in the kitchen. So yeah, I felt like this could be a nice alternative, and it turned out really practical. I'm really loving it, especially now with the lead burner. I usually have my sleeves stained here with a charcoal. With the black stains that doesn't go up really nicely from the wool. So yeah, problem solved. Very happy with it. Very happy to hear that many testers can relate. Many knitters on Instagram also can relate to this length. It's something different. You don't have to hate it or love it. It could be in your wardrobe without any judgment, just as something different. So yeah, and it is slightly cropped as well, because that's what I do. I wear dresses and skirts, so I don't need more length. Otherwise, it falls on a wider part of my hips, and I look like like a trapeze. I started the yoke with a contrasting color cast on. You can still see it on the run side here. It was a low neck, scoop neck, crew neck, call it, with a contrasting color edge. And when I finished, it turned out this beautiful, very voluminous, which I didn't think at the beginning it will be. I thought about my Roots and Shoot sweater, which was also made in Nutiden, but it turned out to be nicer, different. So when I finished it, I felt like this short neck wasn't enough. So that's when I decided to pick up stitches from the cast on edge. I'm gonna take it inside out. Maybe you'd like to see my wrong side. So this is my wrong side. I don't have a magic trick for catching floats. I'm using a very, very classic, very simple way of twisting the threads. Yes, the yarn is getting tangled, it's getting twisted as well, but then I just unwrap it and I keep going. I feel like that gives me more control over the tension. So after every repeat, I sort of loosen up the stitches and I have it all flat. There is no gathering, poking up, stuff like that. I really like that. I tried trapping and different other methods, but so far I managed to do this way pretty quickly and it works for me. So the wrong side, and going back to the neck. So this was the initial cast on. And then when I finished, I went back with main color and I picked up stitches and knit my neck from the bottom up. When you do that, it's sort of an afterthought. You have two options. You can either start with the mock neck directly, and then you can cast on with main color or with contrasting color. That depends completely on you, what kind of edge you like here. So if you decide to go with the mock neck, you decide how you treat the edge, and then you knit the mock neck, and then you continue with the yoke. That's easy. If you knit the scoop neck, you can also decide if you want to do the contrasting color or not at the beginning. And then at the end, you decide that you need the neck. You can do what I did and pick up the stitches. It's all in the pattern. And pick up the stitches and work the neck bottom up to have the nice little neck. There are two options how to do it. You can pick up stitches. I hope you're a visual person, you can imagine this. You can pick up the stitches from the contrasting color cast on in the way that you see the contrasting color on the right side, so that they show like a line on the base of your neck. Or you can do the way that the contrasting color like I did, that it stays on the back. So that's how I did it. And then when I finished the neck, I felt like something was missing. So I added this element that is actually 2 strands of contrasting color that are threaded through the purl one stitches, the ones that are in between the ribbing. So they are threaded through those stitches. And that actually hides my pickup line or cast on line, and I have this nice little element that sort of joins everything together. It mimics a bit this line of the pattern here, and hides my imperfection, or my afterthought design element. If you do the mock neck right away, you can still add this element at the end as well. So that's what it is. There is nothing complicated about this one. It is a bit of an A-line shaped. So you will have, well, the yoke. The yoke is quite roomy, and then you will also have increases on the body, so that from your bust, the body still goes to the outside. I like it. It's playful. It also gives more room for the belly, if there is a belly, if you're expecting, or if it's just your body shape. And also the sleeves are all loose. They are not tailored. It's not, they're just like a bell sort of shaped, just knit straight down with some minor decreases for the pattern. So that's what it is. I used 2x1 ribbing on the neck, and the rest is 2x2 ribbing on the hem and cuffs. And and there you have yourself a nice beautiful sweater. Maybe still in time for Christmas, because you don't have to do sleeves. It's quite quick, and depending on the length you choose, it could also be very, very quick. Yeah, so the pattern is coming out tomorrow, or maybe it's already out when you're watching this. So yeah, very happy, very, very happy. It's definitely a highlight of my year. Speaking of things coming out, we have a new website. The story of a new website started sometime in fall when there was some sort of update that prevented the script that we were using. We actually built my previous website from scratch, and we were using PayHip for checkout. So after that update, PayHip could no longer use a multiple item checkout. So you could only buy one pattern on my website, and if you wanted to buy two, you had to go through whole process again. So you buy one, and then you do all dance again to buy a second one. So that was very, to say the least, inconvenient, and yeah, that raised a big problem of needing a new website. So now we have a new beautiful website. It looks very much like the old one, but there is lots of things that were not possible on the old one. I'm very happy how it all turned out for now. I mean, it's been one day. I hope everything works. If you didn't know about the update, you might have not noticed that something changed, because it looks very much the same as the old one. I wanted to keep the design that I liked, that it was familiar for me and for you. And we instead improved a lot of things technically. So now there are different currencies, so you can buy a pattern paying in your own currency. There are different payment methods. There are many more options to pay with different cards, and I'm also very, very happy with the mobile version. I know that lots of you are using iPad or a phone, so it's now much more readable on a phone. And what I'm especially happy with is the new filter system. So if you go to the designs, you have now a choice to sort by different type of garments or accessory. You can sort designs by gauge, find the gauge that you are most comfortable working with, or you have the yarn for. They're also a very helpful filter of skill level. I often get questions about the skill level and the difficulty of certain patterns. I find it very difficult to answer because that's all relative, but I can imagine that for some people it is important, especially for beginners, to know that some patterns are easier and some patterns might be more challenging. So I have put accent here on beginner friendly patterns and advanced, and all the rest is intermediate, because I think everyone can do everything. I do feel like all my patterns are very intuitive because I'm learning on the go as well. So it's a bit of a flexible scale there. There is no everything is intermediate in my head. And then there is another filter for technique. If you want to do cables, or you want to do color work, or you specifically want to do inlay color work, I try to sort things there as well. And the last is, of course, the language. I do offer quite a lot of translations, and thanks a million to all the translators who are helping me with that. Wouldn't be possible without you guys. So that's there as well for you to use. And I feel like by making life easier for you, I'm also making life easier for me. That means less questions and more time for designing. There are other things on the website that you've seen before, the Patreon page, the newsletter subscription. I put some of the podcast shortcuts there, so you can be my guest and explore the new website, see how it works, and let me know if there are any feedback. You might be able to see some of the bugs and ways to improve it. As I told you, it's been busy. I've been working on the website. I've been also doing quite a lot of presentations, online appearances, sort of, which is a huge challenge for me, and it's something new that I'm trying to teach myself. Get my body more used to it. I'm very anxious public speaker, so there's been a lot of challenge with that. And also there's been a lot of travel, and now I'm leading you to this new thing that I wanted to show you. It is a promotion. I've been working with Thread and Maple for more than a year now. I do get an affiliate commission from them, but it's also a very honest sort of advertisement, because I wouldn't they never tell me what to tell you, and I wouldn't recommend you something that I don't like. I haven't, for instance, and I will show you in just a second. But this time it was my idea. I wanted a bag, a project bag that I could travel with. I have some textile bags that I actually never use. They might be lying around the house, but Katsi is well behaved, and I don't have the need for them. I love them because they are beautiful, but I don't really use them. So I thought, for traveling, I was initially going to Ukraine, and I thought that I will take some work with me. So I asked for a backpack, project bag. This is what it is. I showed you this in my post on Instagram. Though I thought I'm gonna use it as a backpack. But it turns out it's much more useful as a bag. It has this very long strap that you can fold double, and it turns into a nice crossbody bag, or just like a shoulder bag that is very, very comfortable. Why I'm saying about travel? Because it turned out that it's not only nice for knitting project travel, it's just nice for travel. It has a flat bottom, so it sits nicely on a suitcase if you put it on top of a suitcase, and it doesn't fall, it doesn't buckle or anything, it just stands there. And if you have knitting in it, you can just put it there, open up, and knit from your bag, and that's like a dream. Or put it on the floor and knit from your bag. So that's been a huge revelation for me, and I've been using it as a bag, as a normal bag, ever since I got it. Even though initially I was planning to use it as a backpack, because this strap is long, it is removable, and then on the back, this is a nice little hat. It has these two and this one. So you pull your strap through this one and fix it here, and it creates sort of like a backpack sort of thing. For me, that didn't quite work, but as a bag, it works wonderfully. So it took me a while to get used to this square shape of the opening, because it has corners, so it takes some time to get used to it. But it goes nicely over the corner. It doesn't get stuck or anything. It's nice metal zipper. And then inside you have a big pocket and just an empty space in the middle. And this pocket also is very nice for documents or small things that you need to hide. Money, for example. There we go. Now you know. And here what I have. This is what I love most from them. This is something that I got years ago, and I showed you this already. This is my set of needles. And this sort of this is an inset for the folder that they have, like with pages. So this is one of the pages, but I use it as a single sort of, I don't know how it's called, case for my needles. And here I have all the cables and stoppers and stuff like that. I also have here a wooden pin that one of you sent me. Remember? It doesn't focus on it, but there you go. It's a heart-shaped wooden pin that one of you sent me for a cardigan. Yeah. So this is the one that I'm using most. I also had a second one. The one, I think it was called like Notion page or something. But that one proved not to be very useful. I don't use it much. It was in a nice yellowish, like light yellow color, and I really loved the color, but the page was not, no, not my thing. But this one is, yeah, this is a good one. And then this time I also got something like this. I initially thought that it has a nice, how do you call this? Like carabiner that you can use to put it on the bag, like somewhere here, and then have it like on a side of your bag. I don't know, if the bag is full, you can put it on the side and have all your notions at hand. But I also don't put it that way. I'm using it as a standalone. It's just a round box. It is leather, and I have no problem with using leather. I do believe that if you're conscious about what you are buying and how you're spending, it has sense. It's more sustainable to buy once something that is going to last you for years, for decades, than buy 10 little plasticky things that you will throw away. So I'm sticking with leather. I also think that sometimes in the production of artificial leather, more harmful things are used than in actually real leather that otherwise would be discarded as waste. So I'm pro leather. So it is a little box that has a zipper that opens up this round thingy that holds a lot of things, like earphones and sharpener, pencil sharpener, and eraser. And then I have here, this is another my favorite thing. This is a little pouch with darning needles and tapestry needles and scissors. Oh, it's not focusing. Hoo-hoo. So this is something that I also have now for quite a few years. And then I got myself a new measuring tape. Not sure about this one. It doesn't have a stopper. Or does it? It has a stopper, but it stops on its own. Is there a button? There is no button. There is no button. So not convinced about this one. I liked my previous one better, but my previous one was broken. The thingy that I was pulling by fell off, and then I had to for years I had like a piece of yarn stuck to it in the beginning, so it doesn't go into its box. And I felt like it was going ridiculous to be actually doing this full time and making money from it and not being able to buy myself a proper measuring tape. So I got myself this one, but I'm not convinced. It looks nice. It goes really nicely into the box. It goes, there is a, I will get to that. But I'm not sold yet. But the box itself is super useful. One of the sides has a pocket. The pocket where you can put, I don't know, stitch markers or whatever you have lying around, cables, something small that you need, row counter. And then the other side has a magnet. So if I put my iPods, is it iPods? They stick there. Or if I throw a metal stitch marker, I'm not gonna lose it. It's gonna stick to the bottom of this bag. And I find that very, very useful. I lose my markers all the time. So this has been wonderful. It's also nice for organizing things, especially when you travel. Things like pencil sharpener, I'm always afraid that it's gonna open and I'm gonna have the mess in my bag, so I just throw it in here. Eraser, I do draw a lot of things on the go. And then all these little things, like even this little pouch with the scissors, with the small scissors, it comes in there and it fits. And yeah, and many more things. It's quite big, and you can put a lot of things in it. Love this one. Use this one. You see, I told you that I get a small commission, but you also get a discount. And if you want something for Christmas, I think this is something to consider. The brand is based in Canada, and they sew everything, their bags, their pages, everything in Ukraine. So it is also important for me that they, even though it would have been easier for them to move the production somewhere safer, where there are no problems with blackouts, delays, and I do appreciate that they stick to Ukraine, to their employees. They pay salaries, and they support Ukrainian production. So that's why, apart from the fact that I love their designs and products, it's also an important part for me to why I work with them. So yes, I have another design in testing, which I don't think I'm going to show you today. It's already proving to be too long, and I'm also not ready to talk about it yet. I want to see how the test finishes and what we have to adjust and what I have to look at and then point your attention to in the next episode. So I will keep that for later. But for now, I want to show you what I've been doing in the last few weeks. I've been short one pair of needles. So I used other needles for other project for this project to add next to my older sweaters. Here in France, it's very cold. So I felt like some of my sweaters that had deeper necklines didn't work for me, and I really wanted to wear them because they are warm and nice sweaters, but then the neck is cold. So I have two that I redid, and maybe you will find it useful to see how I did it. I'm back now, and you can see how the light is changing because of the color of the sweater that I'm wearing. I told you it's cold. So this is my Voloshka pullover, and initially it was, so this is where the neckline was. You see this little line? It was a pearl bind off. That is actually very lucky because it's very easy to pick up. When you have those pearl bumps, you can just pick them up and have the neck knit from the bottom up. I started here with 2x1. If I remember correctly, it's 2x1 ribbing here, and then I just decreased the 2 stitches that were into 1x1 ribbing, and I think it was 2 pearls or so. Not sure, don't remember now. But then it turned into 1x1 ribbing and created this nice little short neck. That's my sort of preferred length of the neck. It is knit in this beautiful baby yak lace yarn that's held double. It's from Mayak, and it's very warm. There are two colors here. This is, what was it? Mustard and chocolate. And the pattern is very simple. I would say beginner friendly, but it creates a very nice and warm sweater. It also wears really well. There's no peeling, nothing, and I felt like this kind of light and warm sweater was something that I needed here. So I added the neck, and now that's what it is. And another one, also in the yarn from Mayak. This is Helica. You might remember it by this floral ivy motifs, and then these little decorative elements that I was just adding after. So the sweater is nice, but same problem. It had a short neck, and this is a little bit different yarn. It is a sheep yarn, also from Tibetan plateau, so same place where the yak would be coming from, but it's a sheep yarn. And even though it's super nice in terms that it's very soft and squishy, it does peel. Is it peel or pile? Well, there's things coming on top of it with wear, so it doesn't wear as well as yak is. I know that it's more of an investment price-wise, but if you look at it in the long run, for how long you're gonna wear it and how long it's gonna look nice, I think it is a good choice if you can afford it. So in terms of yarn, different, but still very light and very warm. I had a bit of black yarn left, so I added a bit of the hem. It was also 2x2 hem, so I did like this. I added a row of alternating colors, and then I went to full black 2x2 hem, and then I did the same with the neck. But instead I picked up stitches from the bottom of it, from the base of the neckline, of the ribbing, and that created this kind of fold here, which is looking very nice, I must say. It looks as it was supposed to be that way. And then I started with the same number of stitches as it was here at the beginning of the yoke, and decreased towards the neck, and kept going. So I now can fold it double and also have it nice and snug around my neck. So this has been something that I was working on in the last week or so. Yes. I now feel like I need to drink something, and the sun seems to be out properly now, so time for more work. I will let you go. I will thank you for your attention and for watching me, and I will see you in the next one. Have fun knitting, and bye.